the hills and shit we can actually use for once. What's up, John? My day is going okay, you know, pretty chill so far Wednesday. Do I make a mod pack? No, I haven't made a mod pack in like 3 years. Don't ever intend to make a mod pack again. I mean, all the mods that I wanted in the game, I mean, I was making a mod pack back when the game at its barren setting in vanilla was awful. There was just nothing. Has it been that long? I don't know. It's been a long time. Maybe not 3 years, but, well, I don't know, man. I think maybe it has been 3 years. The M48 buffs are nothing compared to the 30B. Yeah, well, they're both big buffs. Only thing I would say for the 30B is the armor is a little overrated, so it'll still be quite vulnerable armor-wise. Like, all it is mostly a mantlet buff. You know, people tend to avoid mantlets. Actually, that looked pretty dope. The SCV-1s driving together there. Yeah, I mean, it'll still be very vulnerable, but the damage output is going to be so crazy. AFK I7. No, you would definitely not last year. This game mode? No, it's full tier 10. It doesn't have to be grand battle. As long as your game is full tier 10, whether it's a 15v15 or 30v30, it's definitely a bond game. You can earn bonds. Bond of James Bond. She's surprised I got lit there, which means the Sheridan might be over here somewhere. Unless maybe Binox on the Foshby. Oh, he's right here, look. See, this tank is caught out now. He's fucked, right? He's never going to be able to do anything from this position. It's just easy farm for me. So overpowered. Can't help it. I actually thought he was going to immediately back, so I still like went mid on his tank. Oh, he didn't even full back that time as well. Yes, the turret did its job against APCR from a TD. That's pretty good. I changed it Majoris because I always thought, like, I always had the camera in the middle, and then I thought, well, I look over to the other monitor to read the chat, and so I'd be looking away from you every time, so it didn't really make sense, so I figured I would change it just for a change, I guess. Honestly, like, no trouble hitting this thing ever. But it's super overpowered. The angle is better than the so you prefer it then? That's good. I think that went really low. Yes, every full tier 10 match you get bonds. It doesn't have to be the 30v30. Shit. Woo. Heart skipped. Saw 183. Well, that is very rude. Damn it. Yeah, he's like just getting my cheek. Fuck. That's enough of that. Someone else can take the role. So with all of Wargaming's stupid updates later with Master Center, do you think all these new rebalances are step in the right direction? A lot of the stuff in this patch is a step in the right direction for Wargaming. There's still some questionable things, right? Okay, so let's look at, for example, the Type 5 Heavy, right? They're like, okay, we were overzealous with the Type 5 Heavy changes, we're going to change the tank, right? Well, the first thing they needed to do was remove the HE gun from the tank because, you know, that's just stupidity that that gun exists. But they didn't, right? Well, okay, whatever. But they did say they were going to do something about the armor, right? Because the armor exists and functions in a way that you have to use premium rounds to pen the Type 5 Heavy. It has no frontal weak points to standard rounds. So they're like, okay, so we're gonna nerf the armor, right? We're gonna add weak points, which is great, and then the weak points are like stupidly high in armor value. Oh, for fuck's sake. Look at that bullshit, man. I know I was really low on HP, but to be rewarded for that is just so dumb. Anyway, yeah, they were like, oh yeah, here's a 270mm weak point, because like most tanks have less than 270mm standard round, which means that they have to roll high in order to pen the weak point of the tank, which is just mind-bogglingly stupid. I don't understand that. But a lot of other stuff is good, you know. Whether the M48 really needed a buff, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I like the M48, and it's pretty crazy now. 30B buffs are interesting. Maybe overzealous, but I'm not really sure yet. We'll have to see. The tank does have very little armor, even with a mantlet buff, so we'll just see. But it could potentially be kind of crazy. But here's the problem with buffing solely the AMX-30B, right? The AMX-30B suddenly comes out of like being shit tier to being actually a good tank. But it leaves tanks like the STB-1 and the Leopard completely redundant. Now, the Leopard 1 was always redundant for a long time. What's the point of the Leo, right? It's a massive tank with mediocre levels of DPM. The accuracy is far worse than what it should be. It can't snap to save its life. It's made of ammo racks, which is less of an issue with the reusable consumables, but still, you know, its speed is overrated. The poor Leopard is just so terrible, but now it's like the only thing keeping the Leopard company has now been really overbuffed. But the worst part is the STB-1, right? A tank with shit tier aim and everything to do with its gun handling, but you know, at least it had the DPM, right? The STB-1 DPM was peachy, but now this tank has better DPM. So, and it has the accuracy. It's faster, and it, in theory, could have better armor. It depends on how much people hit your mantlet. So, what's the point of the STB-1 now? So, that's a bit of an issue. Like, you can't sometimes just. You have to like keep in mind the other tanks that you affect when you buff these tanks, you know. You may play the Leopard, and you may like the Leopard. The Leopard's a good-looking tank. It doesn't mean it's not trash, though. The Leopard is, yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. The STB-1, oh, what a good-looking tank that is. We still don't have an HD STB-1, which is quite sad, I think. But when we do get one, it's going to be pretty sick. Fuck. No, I moved the webcam from the front monitor to one of the side monitors, so that when I read your chat, I was looking towards you guys rather than looking away. Opinion on the IS-7? Yeah, buffed IS-7 actually looks pretty solid. It's hard to say whether it could really compete with the WZ and the 113. because its DPM is still pretty poor, but it does have an impenetrable turret and better gun handling now than it used to, so... Hey, Full Metal. I was being polite? Well, no, I'm just being practical when I changed it. I've had it in the center monitor for a long time. $30B. The Foch B, not my thing. You really want an IS-4 buff, but it seems like nobody thinks it needs one. I don't know. With all the changes coming to the heavy tanks, maybe the IS-4 could use some mobility changes. The IS-4 is actually a pretty solid tank. Like, that side armor is really good. Oops. That side armor is really good on the IS-4. Like, really good. You're not looking at me? Oh, he is looking at me, okay. I wondered how long I would get away with that, but it wasn't very long. Wow, that actually didn't track him. Okay. I guess I was a little bit too far into the hole. .440 Alpha is pretty good. I still want the Chieftain. They were pretty cool. It's disappointing. Alien technology spaced armor? I think you're talking about the IS-4, not the IS-7. The IS-4 side armor is, it's like, so good. The grand battles seem kind of rare. Not like crazy rare, but yeah, they do seem a little uncommon. Yeah, it's one of the only things I'm jealous of the console for. Although I would like weather battles, but the fact that you have the Chieftain is a sore spot for me. One of the few things console really does actually have over the PC version. I mean, it's still console, so. Well, this is going to be a challenge. I don't think he sees me, but... No, he doesn't. By the way, this reload is a little bit faster than it will be because I have directive on it for the rammer. Just FYI, it's a little bit slower than 6 seconds. Wow, we lost this game. Wow. That's mad. Okay, so alright. I lost this game with the pattern. I did 7,000 damage, 3,000 assisted damage, and I got 14 bonds on a defeat. On a victory with the 30B, I got 6,000 damage, 3 kills, 2,000 assisted, and that's 23 bonds. It's just entirely XP related, basically. Yeah, you should. I don't think Grand Battle